Welcome to the Vertical MRO podcast, where we dive into the world of helicopter maintenance, repair, and overhaul. In each episode, we talk with the technicians, engineers, and experts who keep helicopters flying. Because at the end of the day, no maintenance, no mission.
This conversation was recorded live at the Irving MRO Conference, where we spent time connecting with maintainers, students, operators, and leaders from across the helicopter industry. You're about to hear one of those conversations, a chance to highlight the people and companies driving rotorcraft maintenance forward, sharing their challenges, insights, and passion for the work. We're excited to share it with you, and we hope you'll pass it along to anyone who'd enjoy being a part of the growing helicopter MRO community. Let's jump into the interview.
Welcome to the Vertical MRO podcast. I'm your host today, David, and we find ourselves in Irving, Texas this time around. I have John Gray sitting in with me again today, doing another recording. And this is the first of what will be a couple of sort of mini episode recaps and touching base with the people that are making this conference what it is. So today we have with us from TurboLyft, we have Brandon and Jeremy. Thank you for joining us, guys.
Yeah, appreciate having us here.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks.
It was uneventful getting here. You're right at the start of the conference here today. We're just a couple hours in at this point, but so far so good?
Yeah, it could have been a lot worse, I think.
Yeah, that's true.
Where'd you guys travel in from?
Portland.
Yeah, out of Vancouver.
Any issues getting here?
No, just smooth the whole way through, so pretty good.
Yeah, I was worried about flights. Cancellations were rolling through. I'm like, oh boy, this could be bad.
Yeah, exactly.
But we made it.
Yeah.
We're here.
And we already heard about one set of people that did like a cannonball run down here because they didn't want to trust it. They didn't want to take that risk. But no, for sure. We're here. We've made it. Yeah, and so I know that you guys were with us in Kelowna. Now, were you in Kelowna as well with us,
I was
Jeremy?
not, but Brendan was out there.
I made it out for like a 24-hour stint.
Okay.
Drove
nice.
out from the hangar and, definitely wanted to be there to just experience the launch show and see how it was going. So close to home, too, right?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah,
couple
exactly.
hours.
Yeah, so it was pretty surreal sort of first experience, and now to be into the second one already, which is only like a month different, and glad that you can make it to this one here, Jeremy.
Yeah, happy to be here.
Yeah.
For sure.
Just sort of interested a bit about TurboLyft and the work that you guys do and sort of how it started and how you ultimately find yourself here today. My understanding, Jeremy, is that it was sort of yourself sort of starting the company and seeing a need and creating a product. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, did it start more from a parts, sort of tooling perspective, or was it, I see some of those like blue boxes that are for like engine and custom work there. Is that sort of the nucleus of TurboLyft?
Yeah, it was. That was a big driver for me at the end of the day, is previous place I had been at, had moved up from an apprentice cleaning the floors and moving boxes around like every other apprentice does, as an aircraft maintenance engineer, and 15 years there till I got to the general manager position at that place. Yeah, had an entrepreneurial spirit since day one. I guess since I was a kid, I was buying cars, selling them, fixing them up as much as I could, and making it work. I mean, we migrated out of Fiji Islands when I was pretty small, so see your parents work pretty hard to make things work out at the end of the day and give you opportunity, and the world was my oyster at that point there, so knew that had to do something with it. And one of the big starts for me was purchasing the blue box from the previous company that owned it. I developed it at that company and purchased it, and continued to drive that forward in the early years of starting that business.
So being mechanically minded, was that something always, because you mentioned the cars and sort of that was an entrepreneurial start there too? Or?
Absolutely. My dad loved fixing things, always involved me in fixing things, trying to step on the brakes while he's yelling at you because you're not doing it right. So I had that whole experience growing up, and it stuck with me. And one thing he always said is, you're never stuck in life, right? You can always fix it. So I think that really drove home pretty hard for me going through life and going through business as well.
Sort of sounds like it demystified some of what is like maintenance or creating things or fixing things. It's a skill set, and it seems to be a theme, John, on a lot of the recordings, is that if you were afforded that opportunity of holding the flashlight or being yelled at because you didn't grab the right wrench or whatever, that it at least exposed you to this, and it just opened a door.
Yeah, it did, and it does, and that's what we train our team as well, is that, you've got to, you're looking at the sport around here as well. I mean, there's a lot of people here, and there's a lot of people around that you can get information from, and I think each individual has that, even growing up and coming out of school too. So,
did either of your parents have an entrepreneurial background that you saw and inspired and kind of drove that entrepreneurial spirit that you have?
Yeah, so my dad, migrating here, we started with a paper route, and that didn't make enough money. So he was a Macintosh tech from Fiji at the South Pacific University. He traveled to Australia to train there, traveled to the UK, traveled to France, but then when we came to Canada, it wasn't worth much. So started buying VCRs off a newspaper called the Buy and Sell, or getting them for free, fixing them up and selling them. So that was a little bit of cash that we would get at the end of the day to make things work. And yeah, I mean, I was right there. There was VCR stacked up in the master bedroom.
Wow.
Yep, and my mom's tossed some of those out as well in the meanwhile. But
how much inventory do we genuinely need? Type of idea.
Oh, he had a lot.
What's funny is there's probably some kids listening like, well, what's a VCR?
Oh, for sure.
I guarantee it.
My kids are in that group for sure.
What's a Macintosh?
Yeah, it's been called Apple for a long time now, right? Yeah. So, Brandon, how do you find yourself then, or how does your story end up weaving in with TurboLyft's?
So I met Jeremy probably a year into working for Onboard Systems. Started in 2021. Prior to that, I did shipping, receiving, and part sales for different companies, and I was actually trying to get to know TurboLyft to make them like a dealer and give them incentives because I loved what they were doing. And then as I got to know the team, it just kind of felt like this is a place to belong, and talked to Jeremy for a long time about how to kind of migrate over, because it was the next step to my career of, being able to take risks and kind of go bold and help grow something that has a natural momentum, like a large momentum. But with different, I was coming from an equipment side, so the tooling and that kind of thing of, I could, it's a similar realm. And then we could develop things for the A-Star community that might be unique to us or fulfill needs. That's where I wanted my career to go, is how can I better help operators, and landed with TurboLyft. So
amazing. So already from the beginning, you were seeing just how interconnected the community is, and how many overlaps there is in terms of the work and support that you can do in a place like TurboLyft, and that it ultimately pans out and supports the community as a whole. So, and you were just talking about the momentum that you already saw from the beginning there. So what was it, just the way that the industry was talking about what TurboLyft was doing, or the products that you were seeing, or you just saw that there was something already there?
It was the team and the culture and how they were going about, how we are going about things, is just like everyone works together, has the same end goal. Drama doesn't exist. I mean, drama always exists, but it doesn't exist naturally day in and day out like some other places. And it's like, how do we do things better, safer, more efficient, for a lesser cost, right? How do we not waste money when we do this or that? How do we have better training? And so just seeing all that from doing a tour and hearing Jeremy or John, the people who were running the show, how they connect with each other and then trickle down the chain, versus what I've experienced at other places where it was the complete opposite. And I'm sitting there trying to problem solve when I don't even have that kind of responsibility or approval to do so. I'm just winging it, right? So I was like, I don't want to be stuck in something like that. I want to be somewhere where it's naturally going. And from the first day, it's like we did the tour and then we went out and had dinner and beers, and it felt like I was becoming just friends with the team. And that was more important to me, was like that element versus what I was used to from like a corporate side or a overly structured side, in my opinion.
Sure.
It wasn't my route, right? So.
Right. Yeah, it's the difference between feeling like it is truly collaborative and that you're problem solving in the same direction, and your playbook is the same. You're the way that you want to go solving that problem isn't through more bureaucracy and creating more layers. You're trying to actually just genuinely solve the problem. So that's amazing.
The conversation and topic of culture is going to come up a lot this week. Clint Pulver is going to be here tomorrow. Did you hear him speak?
I did. It was amazing.
Man, the guy's powerful. Love Clint. But I agree that culture starts at the top. So you've created the company and this culture that is at all levels. How did you do that? And like, what was your mindset in creating this culture and this environment that people are naturally drawn to?
Yeah, I don't think I came at it as a leader. I came as an example. Like, if I'm expected to do something, I'm going to expect the same from our employees, but I won't do, if it's something I'm not going to do, I won't ask our employees to do it either. So, it's really came down to how we interact day to day. I'm not going to say I'm going to try working the hardest, but I will try at all costs to find the solutions, to make sure that I will deal with the largest problems that are out there and do it in a way that makes sense. And I think from that, it really drives the team to see that, both one, that there's a solution out there, but also that there's an example of someone that is willing to take that on and make sure that there's a solution for both the customer and for whoever it might be. I mean, some days in the office you're going to be a therapist, some days you're going to be a cleaner, some days you're going to be wrenching on a machine, right? So had that background and was able to bring that to the table and do that day in and day out. And I think it's just consistency after that, right?
Yeah. And
people just need to see that consistency.
Yeah, that's huge. People knowing what they're getting into, and it's not one thing today and something else tomorrow. Love that. Like I said, culture is huge, and it solves part of the problem with recruitment or retention. Recruitment's a big deal that we're going to deal with for a long time, as we know the stats show that. Retention's something that, as an employer, as an industry, if we can solve the retention problem by making these places where folks work somewhere you want to stay, man, it solves half the equation, right? It's so much more expensive to bring someone in the front door as opposed to keeping them there, So kudos to you for creating that culture. I always feel like if you can go to work and hang out with people you want to have beers with, that's a great place to be.
That's an amazing feeling. Yeah. And some of the guys we've been together 18, 20 years we've worked together.
Wow.
And so there is a tight-knit group of people that have stuck together for a length and period of time, and that's just, you don't make that from thin air. That's that exists between individuals. And so that's nice when you get a group of people together like that. And we're trying to add, more to that, show that as an example that's really where the value is at the end of the day. Money comes in one pocket, goes out the other. It goes out pretty quick in aviation too. So it's nice to see people that do stick around. And we're trying to instill that in the youth as well. So we just started a program in January from 12 to 16-year-olds, and I've got our apprentices going and picking up as many outboard engines as they can right now.
Oh, wow.
Just so that we can have an 8-week program of introducing, the youth to this. I think fixing is freedom at the end of the day. No one can take that away from you. It's a skill that you get, and it was important in my youth, so just trying to pass that on too on our end.
Yeah, I'm generally better at breaking things than I am at fixing them.
Yeah, that's okay. Thanks for the work.
It's like a true pilot.
You keep a lot of people in business.
Doing something, I guess.
Yeah.
That is interesting, though, talking about I've been struck a couple of times through the conferences about just exposure and how important that it is for next generations. A Rotor Rookies panel that they were talking about, bring them out to the airport, expose them to aviation, show them how interesting it is, and it can ignite that passion that can send them on a lifelong career in aviation especially. And that passion is so key, and that's the thing that is so clear too with the maintenance side of things. It's, there's a lot of sacrifice that's a part of being a part of this aviation industry, but when you have that passion innately there, it is a big driver as a part of it. You said about the outboards, what I've seen is that there's been less and less of this maintenance or just getting your hands dirty in the education system. I have a brother who's like teaching in the high school system, and shop classes are disappearing for whatever reason in some of these institutions. And so now it's other organizations having to step up to provide that opportunity for kids to experience that.
Yeah, I think it's on a twofold thing. I mean, and for sure, it's for us to identify those kids that have passion and attitude, but how do you build passion when you don't have opportunity? So that's what we've got to do, is at least introduce it, still give them something to look at, something to see, and to see if there's that spark there. So that's what we're giving, and you know, hopefully one day one of the candidates that do come through, you know, choose the field and have an opportunity. Because for us, I mean, for me specifically, it's coming up to 21 years, and I wake up every morning excited to go to work. It doesn't matter what the problem is at the end of the day, but that the only driver is passion when it comes to that. Because everyone knows helicopters, it's gonna be a tough day some days.
Yeah,
at the office.
that's
So
true. That is, yeah, that is a part of just inherently the industry, the sacrifice, the long hours, you know, the mental load of knowing of the work that you're doing. So with that work, though, TurboLyft started as one thing, and now it has very clearly grown from beyond that, those blue boxes and those toolkits. And so last that I was seeing is that it was all sorts of, I think it was called the Y series, is it? And just very configuration focused and building what seems to be like a complete overhaul of these airframes to be a solution for customers.
yeah, you know, the Y series really was driven for us. Yeah, I mean, it's a bit of a marketing term, but it was the only thing that we could actually give a value of what we do above and beyond. Yeah, you can come to us. We'll build a BA for you. I mean, even though they're dying out, we can build you a B2. We can complete a B3E for you, an H125. But there's something specific about what we do. We tear that aircraft back down. We put clear coat in places to allow durability. We ensure that we take latches back off that have dissimilar corrosion right from the manufacturer. And we make sure we put, you know, anti-corrosion material in certain places. The idea for us is that the product goes out better, right, than anything that you can find out there. And that's what distinguishes it as the Y series for us, is because of that level of, like I said, 20 years on one platform, which is the AS350 and the H125. So that team has built that together, that knowledge, through being in the field, being up north, being cold, being hot. It didn't matter what it was. We've seen the machines being pushed through those. So putting all the necessary items in it to both protect it and perform has been part of our program, as well as developing. We can do it better. We got to be able to do it better continually. That's got to be the thought. And our biggest thing is, you know, we're going to do it better than ourselves. Yeah, we don't look at anyone across the table. I don't think that's fair to ourselves, but the idea is to just look at what we're doing and get better at it. And one of those programs that we have is doing that to your A-Star.
That's amazing. Yeah, it's very much sounds like taking the things that you're saying, you know, 20 years and however many, you know, hundreds of years really of experience from your entire team as a whole, looking at these aircraft and going, man, I wish they did this, or I wish they took this extra time in this area or that particular step. And now you actually get to bring that to bear on the platform that you've spent so much time on. So that's really cool. So just back to the conference and being a part of the MRO community, because I'm sure, and you've said it has its heart, but it has its passion. What is the thing that keeps you, both of you, coming back to it? Is it that problem solving? Is it the new challenge? Is it, you know, the people that we're working with each day? Brandon, for you and TurboLyft, what is that driver?
I'm just extremely passionate about helicopters. I love helping people. Like, I've always been in a customer service background, even before aviation, from retail to food to catering. I've kind of done every category of job.
Sure.
What's nice about my day-to-day is even if somebody's mad, I can help them feel better about the situation by coming up with a solution. Or if somebody's looking for something, we can dive in and say, can we do this? No, we can't, but here's who can. Or at the end of the day, I thrive on helping people continue to fly and not go, oh, that was a dead end. Now I don't know where to go.
And the flying of helicopters, it's almost in the tagline, right, of no maintenance, no mission. That mission element is very unique to helicopters because it's so much more in your face or forward facing and clear the role that's being played. It goes along in the background a lot to the general public, but to the people that are touching helicopters every day or involved in completing that mission, there's a motivation, there's a fulfillment that comes from that. And if you're helping people solve problems to stay in the air, and staying in that air is completing that mission, it's sort of completing that circle, as it were.
Yeah, and I mean, the other part to it that I love about TurboLyft, because it's been just over a year that I've been with the company, and I mean, just a couple weeks ago, we were at our USA facility, and I was washing down cowls, and I was cleaning, and I was getting my hands dirty, so I got to do more than I've ever been able to do. Like my first job, I was in warehousing, so I got to touch the parts and take them out to the mechanics and kind of learn, but I never got to touch. You know, I never got to like actually learn, here's how it goes on, or here's how it comes off, or here's what's bad about how it looks. At that point, maybe I would have gone into maintenance, you know, because I was just first job in aviation was shipping, and it could have grown multiple ways. But with TurboLyft, it's, you know, Jeremy's like, hey, do you want to help me with this? Or, hey, like, go help so-and-so with that. And I'm like, I've never taken a firewall off. Oh, okay, it's fine. Just ask him. And, you know, it's like you get to just dive in. And I'm a hands-on learner, so it's great for me to go, okay, like some of this is familiar, but there's so much unknown. And I also work remote, so when I get to be in the hangar, it's always a good time because I'm like pent up, right? Like, oh,
it's been building up. It's
not my living room.
Yeah, exactly.
But no, it's just it's great. It's surrounding yourself with like-minded individuals. So if everybody loves what they're doing, they come in. Like he said, you have hard days, but you can turn those around, or you know, it's part of the timeline of work, right? It's not easy in any industry or any job.
Yeah,
there's hard, there's easy.
And when you can get your hands dirty, like you're saying, and you're in a solutions base, you know, and you're serving a customer, well, you know the product that much better, right? It's probably a good investment on your part, Jeremy, to have that opportunity for Brandon.
Absolutely.
Right? Yeah.
I mean, when he's trying to bring a machine in and they're like, hey, we're at capacity. Well, he knows what that means. We're at capacity, or how the team works. And so there's a level of respect across the board, right? And you build that. That's part of the culture and community that you build, right? They know him, they've seen him, and he's been on the shop floors, and I mean, they call him for some technical stuff from his previous job as well, just because
still the hook guy.
He still got it.
You can't get away from it.
Internally more than ever, but it's great. I like it.
So yeah, it's that's important. But I mean, for me, the MRO show. I mean, I remember probably about 10 years ago, put a helicopter technical session on out in Vancouver for. There was about 15 operators, 70 people there, and we were just doing it on A-Stars. And I think we charged $65 or $95 and paid meals and everything like that. And this feels very much like that it's a group of people working towards a goal, trying to figure things out and share amongst as much as we can. And to me, that's what it comes down to. I mean, we got to share. Whether we like it or not, we got to share the information. We got to share the knowledge that we have. One for the youth, the other is for the industry and the guys that are getting in the machine every single day and working on them. Because without that sharing there, you know, the aircraft are just going to keep breaking down. We're going to have issues, and why do that?
How much more longer can you do more with less, right? And by being joined together as a community, hopefully we can do more with more because we can pool our resources, our support, our voice. Yeah. Right?
Yeah. Like that leadership. I mean, talking about leadership at a show like this, that is important. Like, these are soft skills that we do not talk about, that we do not work on, that we completely don't put it on the agenda when we are a maintenance facility. And you see the holes in it very quickly. Because we're very technical, right? And the generations that have taught us have been very technical. And we're dealing with problems that we might not be able to solve, and we need the help and be able to call upon individuals or people or groups that can support that. So hearing the way that this is put together is pretty cool. I think it's touching on the right spots. It's hitting what's close to home and what we're dealing with. And I think input and feedback will just make it get better and better each and every day here.
I feel like that holistic approach to industry's issues is great. It's not just the technical side, like you're saying, that where the issues exist. Leadership's a problem worldwide, and we're really good about, hey, congratulations, you've been really good in this technical side. Now you're going to lead people. Yeah. Like, well, that's great, but I've never led anybody in my life or been told anything about that.
You'll be fine.
Yeah, it's probably cool. You're probably fine. But to have people like Clint and Jamie Wood and these different people come in and talk about things related to the industry that we have issues with, just I think is so beneficial for everybody. Where you could be day one apprentice, you could be in A&P school, you could be at DOM somewhere, and there's something for you here. Educationally, the networking is a whole nother part of it. Coming up with collective solutions for some of these things that we're dealing with, that's huge.
Yeah. So. Yeah. No, I believe it.
Amazing. Well, guys, it's just so great to have you on the podcast, and thank you for being here as a part of the conference, taking the time, investing in the community like we're talking about. If anyone wants to learn more about TurboLyft, connect with you guys, what's the best way to do that?
Call Brendan.
There you go. Amazing.
Yeah. Just reach out. You can check our website. All our contact info is on there as well. But, You
guys on the socials?
We're on Instagram.
Okay.
I'm on LinkedIn. We don't really do a lot with our LinkedIn page. I kind of just tag it and post a bunch of our Instagram content. But Instagram has another momentum to it. So we're doing a lot on there.
Cool.
And go more visibility. It's not a bad thing. So thank you so much. It's been amazing. Have a great show.
Thanks for listening to this conversation from the Vertical MRO Conference. If you enjoyed it, feel free to share it with someone in your network who cares about helicopter maintenance and the people who make it happen. To hear more conversations like this, you can find the Vertical MRO podcast on all major platforms. Thanks again for being a part of this growing MRO community, and we'll see you in the next episode. This conversation was recorded live at the Kelowna MRO conference, where we spent time connecting with maintainers, students, operators, and leaders from across the helicopter industry. You're about to hear one of those conversations, a chance to highlight the people and companies driving rotorcraft maintenance forward, sharing their challenges, insights, and passion for the work. We're excited to share it with you, and we hope you'll pass it along to anyone who'd enjoy being a part of the growing helicopter MRO community. Let's jump into the interview.